Welcome back to the table, everyone, for another round one. And as you may have imagined, we are going to be playing Everdell Farshore today, or just Farshore, depending on how you want to look at it. There's a little bitty Everdell at the top of the box, but everyone's calling it Farshore. It is, I would say, maybe 90% Everdell.
Yeah, not far from Everdell,
for sure. Emily with the puns. That's my job. No, it is a lot like Everdell. There are some differences. I'll mainly let you see those differences as we play. We also have another video where we talk about some of the differences between this and Everdell. But the biggest one, in my opinion, is this boat track that goes around the board and the way those boats move through playing your cards. And it's going to unlock the opportunity to get some wild resources, these treasures off to the side. And those wild resources, I think, are a fairly significant difference for me because you're able to get those. It gives you a lot more flexibility and you can kind of cascade into bigger seasons, not necessarily bigger turns, but more to do during a season. And they've done some things with the map tokens here that are a little bit different than past Everdell. And there's quite a bit more points here, I think, to be gained.
Sure.
And the Windrose tokens, which are tied to the boats. So you'll see all of that as we played. We've set the game up here. We're going to put some fancy animations up when we can to show you the cards a little bit better than you would normally see laying on a table from a camera far, far away.
There you go.
So take a look for those, and we've decided that I am going to go first.
You are.
Emily has more cards than I do.
I do.
But off camera, she's already been complaining about her options.
I have, actually. I'm very upset. The thing about Everdell and Farshore is that it's still a worker placement game, right? And we start with just 2 little puffins.
Yeah, this is not the first time she's mentioned this, by the way.
I'm supposed to make 2 puffins somehow do all of my work to try to create my beautiful town.
I start with 2 ducks, by the way, not puffins.
They better be hardworking ducks.
They are hardworking ducks. They have pretty short necks for ducks, but whole nother conversation. But let's start playing Farshore. On your turn, you can either play a card into your tableau, and we're going to play those for as much room as we have here, so you can see those, or place a worker. And
it'd be hard to play a card first since we have no resources, but...
That is true. That is true. Well, there are cards that cost nothing.
There are cards that cost nothing.
And I have.
There are some cards
I
that
might
are
have a card
negative
that costs
points
nothing.
and cost
I'm
nothing.
going to start by going. Let's take a look here. There are some cool cards that let you do some conversions in this. I don't know how much of that. I'm not as big an Everdell player as like Ryan and maybe even Emily. But there are some cool cards that let you convert into the wild resources, but I don't see any in my hand. So
there's a merchant on the board that says you can pay 1 resource to gain 2 resources.
Oh, that's nice. That's kind of like it.
2 mushrooms.
I'm going to take my duck and go over here.
And he took the 2 mushrooms.
And get 2 mushrooms.
Surprise.
It feels like a very common first move in a game. So over to you.
Over to me.
And
All
as
right.
Emily considers this, I'm going to mention too, there's anchors in this game that allow you to pay for some critters, or basically treat them as free. As long as you have a construction of the same type, you just place the anchor on the construction, play the critter for free. But you can only do that 3 times, period.
I'm going to also go for resources. So I'm going to go for the 3 driftwood. Look at me, rich with driftwood.
Rich with driftwood. Sounds like a t-shirt. Interesting. I wish I had a little bit more things.
Exactly. This first season of winter, you wish you always had more. And then somehow, by the end of it, you're like, and then I do this, and I do that, and you don't have enough spaces left in your tableau.
No, you do not. And I'm going to go down here. Speaking of the bay,
interesting.
to this island, I'm going to get a wild resource.
Wow.
And a card from the deck or the bay.
Which
I think,
I have a feeling I know which one he's going to take, honestly.
Ugh, that's not great.
I don't want to say it in case he doesn't.
What one is it? I'm definitely not.
No.
I am way behind you.
I cannot be tricked like this, David. Although, I will say that right now, the Windroses for this round are construction and the legislation. Is that what it is?
Governance.
Governance.
Same thing. Very close.
And we do have exactly 1 card in the bay.
Yeah, but it takes stuff that I don't have.
Yes, it does take our sea stones, which is the rarest resource.
Yeah.
2 of those, which to get would be difficult.
Well, I have a wild, but that's not really going to do me any good. Yeah, I think I'm going to take the sloop.
The sloop.
The sloop.
What does the sloop do?
The sloop will move my boat 2 spaces.
Ooh, that's nice.
When it gets played.
Yay! Another one of the governance comes out. The customs officer. Little walrus. Okay, so I'm going to go... I think I'm going to go here, which is one of our other islands, and get myself some seaweed, some sea stone, and a card from the top of the deck.
Nice.
And that will be what I have.
Back to me.
Back to you.
I am going to, for 3 mushrooms.
Yep.
There's 2 mushrooms and a treasure.
Give up
Goodbye,
those 2
goodbye, 2
points.
points. I'm going to play the customs officer.
There he is again.
The customs officer, when playing a card, you may replace 1 resource with 1 resource in any cost. I like the
That's
flexibility
nice.
that offers at the beginning of the game. Plus, it is a governance.
Saw that.
So I get to move my boat. I'm going to move the boats to the inside of the track so as to not mess with my
Sure.
tableau. So I'm at the 2-point space. I've already got 2 points. I just gave up 2 points and I just
And then you
earned
got
2
2
points.
points.
So
Plus the customs officer gives you another point.
there you go.
You're up to-
I've netted a point.
Whopping 3 points
Yeah.
right now. I don't know if I'll be able to cut back from this.
I'm sure she will. Sure she will.
I am also going to play out a card since my puffins have already been sent to work. I'm going to pay 2 driftwood and a seaweed to get an inn. The inn is a common construction, which allows me a space where I can put a guy and then play a card from the bay for 3 fewer resources.
Oh!
I know. He seems really nice. The bad part about him is that I forgot that I needed a puffin to use him, and I'm out of puffins.
Oh, you'll get him back in a
I will
second.
get him back, but I definitely thought to myself, yeah, and then I'll play the guy in there, and I'll get to do... Not till next season, but...
Speaking of next season, it's back to me.
It is. Oh, but I also... He's a construction, so I get to move up 1 as well.
There you go. You're on. Congratulations.
Thank
2
you.
points for you as well. So I can't do anything else, or I'm choosing not to, because I could. No, I'm not going to. So I'm going to move on to the next season right here.
Okay.
So I'll get another worker.
There you go.
I will run my production. I don't have any production cards.
Correct.
And that is all. I'll get my workers back. And it clears the spaces for Emily.
Yes. But I already have my puffins already played out. So, and I don't have enough for anything else. So I will also say that was the end of winter.
All right.
Get my other puffin. Bring these guys back home. Ready to do some more stuff in spring.
And you were the last player to do so.
I was.
So these Windrose tokens go bye-bye.
Goodbye.
And we flip over the new ones.
What are the new ones?
They're looking for unique cards and the traveler types. Oh.
Unique travelers, huh? I don't like whatever sounds you're making over there, David.
I think I'm going to play a card.
Yeah.
I'm going to play the Castaway.
I knew it.
The Castaway is going to give me -1 points at the end, but it says discard a critter from your city to gain 1 treasure. Now, do I have to do that if I can? Or is that a may?
It doesn't say May, but I would assume it's a May.
Oh, no, it says may discard.
Oh, so then it is you do have to do it.
I don't know about that. You know what?
He's for free, but he's unique and he's...
I know. No, I know. I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Even though
Sure, I love that. Do it, David. It's a great move.
I think she's being sarcastic, by the way. But you know what? I'm going to explore the game.
Okay.
I'm going to explore the game. I am discarding this. Ouch.
Goodbye, customs officer.
And the Castaway comes in, and I do gain a treasure, which isn't bad. That's not bad.
I think this is going to be worth it, honestly, because then you get to move
I get to move up twice.
2.
So 1, 2,
2.
and in doing so, I get another treasure on the 4 spot.
And now you're at to 6 on the track?
Yeah.
That's, I think, well worth it.
I'm just going to try to go up the track the whole game.
There
That's
you
all
go.
I'm going to try to do. I'm going to have 1 guy. I'm going to have the Castaway. Oh, by the way, the Castaway doesn't go into your tableau. He doesn't
I love
count.
that. I love when you can find extra ways to get, because again, at the end, getting just the 15 in your tableau is like, you're really deciding which ones you want to keep. And instead we got the herbalist. Okay, so I'm looking for a unique, and it has to be the knapsack. We do have the hideout still.
The hideout is there, but you don't have the stuff.
Don't I, David?
Do you?
Don't I? I'm just going to do it. I'm going to use
You
my
can see
inn to play a card from the bay for 3 fewer resources.
Oh, that's nice. Down to 0.
Yep. So I have the hideout now, which says that I may discard up to 5 cards to both gain 1 seashell, which is a point, and draw 1 card for each. Yeah.
Oh, you can discard up to 5?
Yeah.
Oh, so dump all the junk cards in your hand?
Yeah, I will be. Which is great for me right now, honestly, because a lot of these I don't love. All right, I'm going to discard 5 cards and get 5 points and 5...
5 points?
Yep.
Wow, this is the first time I've actually touched these shells in a game.
4, 5. And then, because it was the unique and it was the traveler, I'll get to go 2.
2?
Yep.
2. Ooh, 1, 2. You get a treasure token for that.
Treasure! My first one. Look at these seashells.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
For the points?
Yeah.
Or just the shells?
Who could say?
They're delightful.
And then do you want something else in the bay? You good with that?
I think I would like something else in the bay. I would have preferred a unique traveler card.
It is not, though.
I see that. All right, I'm not going to play a card. I think I'm just going to go right here and get some driftwood.
Get all that driftwood.
I mean, it's kind of the most common item, but you get 3 of them, and there are cards that can use them.
Yes, that is true. I would love it if I had more driftwood right now, honestly. I think what I want to do is actually use one of my anchors.
Oh.
I know.
You have a construct.
I have 2 constructions. So the new thing about Farshore is that instead of having to find like the farmer and his wife and very specific combinations, I can use any of my constructions, and I have 3 anchors all game that I can use, where I can put the anchor down and put down a critter that is of the same type for free, no cost.
Ooh, nice.
So I'm going to use my hideout to play a pirate. So no mushrooms needed, just playing the pirate. He is a unique critter who is a traveler as well.
Nice.
So that is going to be 2 more moves up the thing. Oh. He also gets me 3 treasure. So I'm going to get 3 treasure from him.
+1.
+1.
Good Lord. I think we need to restart. I think we need to restart for sure. Whoa.
Yeah, he was one of the new ones I picked up when I basically cleared my hand. So I really appreciate him.
Crazy. All right, back to me.
Back to you.
All right, I am going to play this sloop. It's a unique construction. It's going to cost 2 wood and 2 of these, which seems crazy, but I'm doing it. Yes. And I get to move my boat 2 spaces.
There you go.
1, 2, I'm with you. I get another treasure back. Probably not the most efficient thing, but and it's a unique, so I get to move my boat 1 more and get another treasure.
Nice.
I mean, it's a thing.
That's good. 3 whole spaces. You're winning the boat race once again.
Yeah, but I need you to stop racing.
No, they're points.
You just do your
I think
cards.
I'm going to keep racing.
Do your cards.
I'm going to keep speedboating along. In fact, I think I want to... See, the thing about all these treasures now, David, is that I have these treasures, but I don't really want to spend them because they are points. Mm-hmm. But I also don't have a lot of resources otherwise. Mm-hmm. So
no, there's no way. Like, you cannot hold on. Now, I've been spending them probably a little too carefree. But yeah, you can't just stockpile them, I don't think, because they're too beneficial to spend.
They are very beneficial to spend. In fact, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to spend them all.
Spend them all?
Not all of them. Okay, not all of them. Not all of them. I'm going to do the stowaway. So he costs 3 mushrooms, and I have no mushrooms. So he's going to cost 3 treasure. Oof. Seems like a steep price for him. But he says I get to move one of my workers to a new location, even if it's occupied, and activate it.
You getting some driftwood?
I'm not getting driftwood, but I do want to move this guy off of my construction space and move him to, what do I want? Yeah, actually, I think I do want driftwood, and that's why I wanted to put him there.
Oh, well, you can go there.
Yeah.
Because your tag-along guy says you can.
Yes.
What's he called again?
He's called the Stowaway. And he was a unique traveler.
Oh my
You know
God.
it. You know it.
1, 2. You're ahead of me now. I don't like...
The boats.
I shouldn't have even said anything about the boat race.
The boats. Did I get a treasure from that or no? I just want treasures is all I want.
Yes, you did. I was covering up the treasure. Spent three to get 1?
Yes.
Okay.
Seems worth it.
I can live with that. Back to me. Is it back to me now?
Yeah.
I think I am going to go here while the getting's good and just get 2 mushrooms.
Okay. I think I'm going to play this market. The market cost me 3 resources, and the funny thing is I'm going to spend these 3 driftwood to pay it. The market says it's a unique construction that says when you're playing a card, you may discard this market from your city to pay 3 fewer resources. So basically, it's saying in the future, use me as 3 separate.
Yeah.
But because it is unique, I also get to move up 1.
Ugh.
Love it.
16, no treasure, just FYI.
Thank you. This is really interesting. Like, it's very different from Everdell in that way. Because
Oh, yeah, 100%. That's what I'm saying. I think this is the biggest impact difference. Yeah. And I know people like Everdell. I know we posted a video on this, and people are like, I don't know, is it different enough? This, to me, I don't know if it makes it different enough for you, but for me, I wouldn't want to play Everdell without something like this going on. This is what I would miss the most from not playing this.
It gives it a lot of direction.
Yeah.
I mean, no pun or anything included, but like the Windrose really does. Like, you're really thinking about like, can I get these things at this time? Also, it'd be nice to have things in my hand that were different from each other in case next round I need something different to get me a little bit further in points.
I am going to play the steward from the bay into my tableau.
It seems appropriate as he's a duck.
Yeah, he is a duck. He's a beautiful duck. That's going to cost me 2 mushrooms.
Okay.
The 2 mushrooms I just picked up. And I'm ready to use the steward on my next turn.
What does he say? What does he say?
Activate 2 different productions in your city.
Oh, no. We only have 1.
Yeah, but it moves my boat 2 spaces.
That's too far.
I'm so fixated on moving the boat.
Would I want to use a castaway? I could get rid of somebody. Yes, 100% I would. Well, you have your own, so I'm going to take my own castaway now. He doesn't count as part of my spaces in my city, but I can discard a critter from your city to gain 1 treasure. I will discard this pirate now that I'm done with him, and just put him away. Goodbye.
Goodbye, pirate. We'll miss you. Not
if
really.
I had, yeah. It kind of hurts because I'm getting rid of him as like an icon, but he wasn't really worth any points, and I would love to get that treasure from it, so I'll take that treasure. And again, he's a unique traveler, which you know well.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
1.
Is that the new... 2?
Unique traveler.
Oh, my gosh. How did you pull that off?
You already gave me 1.
Oh, you got the other one. I see. My turn?
Did you move me 2, though? Yeah.
Move you 2 spaces? Yeah. I think I only moved you 1 space.
David's constantly trying to undermine me in this.
Yes, I am. Actually, I'm just not paying attention. It takes all my brain power to even figure out what I'm going to do. So I'm going to blame my loss on that. I am going to play a critter. And play this critter right here.
Ooh,
it costs 2 mushrooms. Look, I have no mushrooms, but I have the sloop, and the sloop is a production card, and as is the sea chimp, or sea chip, like Chippendale. It's like a little chipmunk. Common critter that activates a production in your city. I'm going to activate the sloop and go 1, 2.
You are going to be doing a lot.
Yeah.
I can see that steward is coming right on up.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to do this before I forget, and which is I'm going to play a Puffin up to the dunes.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
you got the Travelers?
I got the Travelers. We've been focusing hard on them, so I get him as my first map.
So she got a map token, and that one says that map token is worth 2 points for every map token you have. So regardless of whether she gets lower valued ones on the other stacks, that one's worth 2 for every map token. So you can get a ton of points up there.
Yes.
If you got all top of the 6, you'd have
I don't
72
think it's
points or so.
likely to do that because that would require more than 15 cards. So you'd have to do it through things like the Castaway.
That's true.
But I don't know if it is possible.
Well, that
It
is
seems
true
very difficult,
because
frankly.
these do none of those will be in your display, will they? The Castaways? Are they all off the board or just a couple of them? No, just a couple
Just
of
a
them.
couple of them.
Is it back to me?
Yes.
All right. Well, I have to do it just
know.
because if I lose the game horribly, this turn makes it worth it to me.
Okay.
I'm going to go here on the Steward and use this.
Uh-huh.
Activate 2 different production.
Yes.
I'm going to start by using the C chip
Yeah.
to activate this one
Yeah.
to move 2. 1, 2.
That's one treasure.
That gets me a treasure. And then I'm going to use that one
Yes.
to move 2. 1,
1,
2.
2. And that's a treasure.
And that's another treasure.
These treasures are really coming in and out.
Right. That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. That's aside from this and wanting to get points, you're also getting the treasure. So now I haven't even had to go get resources if I want to spend them.
Which is nice because really, again, if you've played Everdell, you know that the big part of it is the worker placement of trying to get the resources you need while being efficient. The treasure gives you a lot more flexibility.
100%.
in what
Like
you're
especially like if there's a space in a higher player count game, someone sits on that.
I know.
And you're like, well, I'm not getting mushrooms for a while.
Exactly.
And I'm actually kind of surprised that was never a big aspect in all of the original Everdell. I don't think there's any wild resources. Correct us if we're wrong down in the comments.
Well,
but I
Everdell has a spot like docks, right?
Yes.
Where you can be
Oh, that's
getting rid
true.
of
That's
cards
true.
to get resources. But that's kind of what you had to do. That's why when you said you don't go there often, I was like, docks, that was my main spot at Everdell, their
That's
equivalent,
true.
where I was just like, okay, I guess I'm getting rid of these cards and getting resources, because how else? I'm going to use my last Puffin 2, and he's going to go to the inn, his favorite spot, which is to play a card from the bay with 3 fewer resources. I have a driftwood and a sea stone to use, also lots of treasure. I haven't really looked at who I want yet, but I know I want one of them, just so that way I can have it. The galleon is worth 5 points and is a point for every treasure you have, which seems like it would be
makes your
good.
treasures 3 points, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, no, I guess. Oh, yeah, that's end game. So that's however many treasures you have at the end. Nice.
Yeah. Or I could do the Abbey, which is very similar to my inn, except for it's from your hand instead of from the bay. I think I will go for the galleon. No, I'll go for the Abbey.
It's fun to be a passenger on the journey of your
Thank
turn.
you. Oh, but this isn't either of the things.
See?
Now.
It's almost impossible to play a card that's not one of those things because it feels like a failure. But
Yes.
I think it's coming.
Okay, I'm gonna play the customs officer because at least
unique.
he is unique and he'll cost me 3 less, so I don't have to pay anything for him. And he says when playing a card, you may place one of the resources with another resource in the cost.
Why does he cost you 3 less?
Because I played him from the Puffin from the.
Oh, you did that just now. Okay.
Yes. So he'll make things easier for me to play as well, and then I won't have to worry so much about specific resources.
Oh, we made a mistake that I'm going to correct right now. The port should go here.
Oh,
That's
it's a second port.
It's another improvement in the game.
Yes.
So we should have another card out. Hopefully this doesn't
I had
change what
another
you-
option
You
to
had
go
another
for.
option.
That's good. I don't need it. I have already too many options.
Let's rewind 3 turns. Is it my turn?
It is.
All right. My journey won't be as exciting as yours. You know what? I am
as a
going to
surprise.
play this Scriptorium.
Ooh, what's that?
Scriptorium is going to cost 2 wood and a sea stone. I have 1 wood
That's not 2.
and 2 rare wilds, treasures. This is going to, it's common construction, so it does nothing for me on the boat. See, I'm fine with doing that. But I may draw up to 2 cards from the bay and up to 2 from the deck. I will draw the Abbey from the bay. I don't think it gets replaced quite yet. I don't think, since I can draw from the deck as well. rough. Do we have a production guy out here? We do. I'll take the merchant. I'll take the 2 off the deck too.
Oh, you get both.
It says may draw up to 2 from the bay and up to 2 from the deck.
Wow.
It's a lot of cards.
That's a lot of cards.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Well, we got out the governor and another steward. There he is.
Hey, the puffin. It's a puffin governor.
Yes. I could get the galleon for everything I have if I wanted to.
Do it.
Seems really bad. No, I cannot be just going that crazy.
I think you should. If it were me, I would
Tell me what you would do if it were you.
And then do the opposite?
I think that I am going to... I'm going to try to do the customs office. So that one's going to cost me 2 wood. I have 1 wood and a treasure. A sea stone, which I have, and then a seaweed, which is going to be another treasure.
Whew.
And it says that after I play a card, you may give a card to an opponent to gain 1 seashell and draw 1 card. So basically, I'm going to start to be able to give you cards.
Your
so
junk?
I can draw, and then just get points off of it. It's unique, so I get to move up my thing. And that'll be it for now.
All right. My turn?
Yes.
Look at this. I'm going to go fast. I'm going to play the Shipwreck, and I am putting these, by the way, in my tableau, but the Castaway and the Shipwreck technically are not part of my 15 cards.
Sure.
But I'm placing this. It doesn't cost anything. It says discard a construction from your city to gain 1 treasure. I'm going to discard the Scriptorum that I just played.
Nice.
To gain a treasure.
Yep.
And it's a unique construction, or a unique traveler.
I hear those are good
so
right now.
I get to go 1, 2. It doesn't give me a treasure, but
it does get you further.
I'm up to 28 points. If I just win the boat race,
You'll be
fine.
happy.
I'm fine. That's all we're going to report on at the end.
I'm going to actually call that the end of this season. So I'm going to say that was a good spring for me.
Good spring.
I enjoyed it. It was a fun time. Puffins come back.
Puffins come back, and you get another puffin.
And I get another puffin. And I get 2 cards from the bay.
Yes, you do. Oh, yeah, from the bay. What ones are you going to take?
Well, you'll never guess this, but I am getting the galleon.
What?
I know. And I think
I think that one was pretty safe. I think the harbor is actually pretty safe from anyone for a minute.
I'm deciding between the admiral or the governor. I want the governor just because he's a puffin. But the admiral, I think, is going to give me more points for each treasure space you've reached or passed with your boat. And I have a feeling we're going to go pretty far up it. And I don't have a lot of common stuff in my construction right now. So I am going to go with the admiral. And hopefully David will just let me leave that puffin for me later. I'm not the last player, so those wind roses are going to stay the exact same as they are. And the interesting thing that'll happen at the end of summer for David is that these 2 islands we have are going to sink.
They will down into the water. We haven't used them too much, have we?
No, not too much.
I used this once. Did you use this?
I used that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
they got used.
We visited them. It's okay. I could, like, I'm in your situation. I could do more. I've got 3 resources here, technically, of treasure. But there's really no reason to do that unless I had a unique traveler to play, which could be nice. I think, though, I'm going to call it 2. So I am going to return my puffins, or my ducks, rather. You got me saying puffins now.
Everyone should always say puffins now.
That's disturbing. Get my extra duck. The Windrose tokens are going to... I get 2 cards from the bay.
Yeah, before the Windrose tokens, so you won't know what's coming up, but...
I think I'm going to take another steward, perhaps.
The common steward.
I think I will take...
The grove?
This simple little grove. Oh, you know what's interesting is we know what Windrose tokens have played. Oh.
We again
Thank you.
did not realize.
It's hard to remember that.
So you got one more option, Sculptor. For his unique construction.
Oh man, he's expensive.
He's who I should have gotten.
But
honestly.
I'm taking
I have
the
so
sculptor.
many unique stuff.
So I will replace those cards. Let's make sure we don't... Any duplicates? No, I don't see any. Then the Windrose tokens change. So these go away.
What are they going to be?
And we have
Yeah.
common
Okay.
and the little
the
destination icon, which is the little
I like the
adorable
destinations. I love having new worker spots.
paw. For sure.
Especially now that we have more.
And then
options.
finally, let's all say farewell to the islands.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, islands. And that is effectively halfway through the game.
Yes.
The game does kind of expand a little bit, so time-wise, it's probably not halfway, but we've played 2 of the 4 seasons of Farshore, and we're going to play the rest of the game, and we'll come back, and all we're going to tell you is who won the boat race. And
Nothing else matters.
definitely not going to
That's
tell you
it.
how many points we each have, because it will be a sad story to report. But we'll be right back to let you know how it all shook out. And we're back, and I won. Goodbye.
Well, you did win the boats.
I did win the boat race, but as you can imagine,
Let's all clap.
I didn't win the game. We'll get to that in a second. But I do want to talk about the boat race for a second.
Yes.
I don't want to bury the lead too much. Emily won. What was the score? Do you remember?
146 to 120.
Not horrible. Just 120? That's all I had? 120, 120?
Those were the numbers.
Okay, those were the numbers. But I did win the boat race. Not by too much. Not by a whole lot. And then I realized, or we realized, Emily pointed out actually, that the points start to diminish. So at the beginning, when you're moving from space to space, it's 2 points per, and then around 40, it goes to 1 point per.
And the
treasures spread out just a little bit. So in the last round, I'd planned to completely exploit this situation I had going on. You saw on camera, I had this steward that allowed me to fire off 2 of my production. Well, the steward is a common critter, and I got another one of the stewards. So there was one round where I used both of them, and I moved up 8.
Yeah, you guys
on the
missed some
track.
disgusting play.
That was really great, because it gave...
again, and I was like, where are you, David? You're
Yeah.
lost at sea.
And I planned to do it again, but in the last round, it actually benefited me more to start, finally,
In the last round.
focusing on
map
the map
pieces.
tokens. Emily snaked so many of those where I'd had them, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get that really quick before you do." And I had planned on waiting to the end of the game to get them. And I mean, I did get some. I got 24 points there.
Yeah.
But you got what?
45.
45 points from her map tokens, which was much more than the 10-point difference on the boat track.
Yes. Yeah, those map tokens are hard too because you have to put a worker in to get them.
Yeah.
So like if you're doing them all in one round, that's your round.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, you can see my...
Yes, your
you can
last
see my
round, all
round
your
right
ducks
here.
were like, go to the dunes, go to the dunes.
They were all following each other in a little waddly
that's so
roll.
cute.
Yeah.
Mine were more like each season I was giving over a guy, and it's painstaking to do it because you're like, I could be doing so much cooler
Yeah, because you're not
stuff.
doing anything. I mean, you got to savor the fact that those are going to be points
They
at
are
the
gonna be
end.
points.
But in the moment, you're right. You do it and you're like, okay, I got a token. I didn't do anything to really
Right.
improve my city or get anything.
And what's written on them is 2 points times the number of maps. So you're kind of like, ugh, it feels like you're only getting 2 points.
But it's
you're
a
not.
lot.
You're getting
It's-
more than that. But it's just like, is this even doing that much? My puffin could do all this. I had so many like creature spaces where it'll allow you to do something cool. I had one that says move your boat up 3 spaces. Never got to use it. Had one that said play one from the bay for 3. I had both that said play one from the bay for 3 fewer resources, and one that said play from your hand for 3 fewer resources.
You used that once, right? The Abbey.
I didn't use the Abbey at
Oh,
all.
you didn't?
I just used the inn, and then the post office says discard any number of cards from your hand, then play a card for that many fewer resources.
You did use that one
I did
once.
use that one. I got one that the rope bridge allows you to draw 5 cards, so I drew up to my hand limit basically, and then played the post office where I just got rid of everything in my hand except for the big galleon that I wanted to put out on the board.
Yeah.
And it allowed me to do it for very, very cheap. But yeah, it still was like I had all these cool things. I was like, if I just had more puffins, I could do so much. But they had to go to the dunes too.
Yeah, so based on this experience, I do want to spend a minute here talking about, I mean, there's a lot of people, we put a video out recently, there's a lot of videos out there, this game was just announced, A lot of people going, is it different enough? I don't know. I will say this. If I had this game, I'd probably want to play this game more than I would
Everdell?
normal Everdell. Now, that being said, I haven't played a ton of the expansions, so I don't know what all those add. But knowing my taste, I generally don't like throwing in the kitchen sink when it comes to everything. I don't even know if you can do that. I assume you can play with all the things in Everdell.
Yeah, the expansions definitely go together.
Yeah. But this is a nice sort of streamlined experience.
For sure.
But it also adds those things, like we said in our other video, that I think I'd really miss. The Windrose tokens and the way this track works just makes things a lot more fun. And like you were saying, the map tokens also add to the mix in terms of really feeling like something that's very attainable, because I think in base Everdell, they're very specific things that you can get.
They are, and I don't think it has one in base Everdell that is one of each, and this one starts with one of each as one of the things.
So
that's a little bit different for those who like to go for a little bit of everything. I tend to do that. But honestly, it feels very different. I think if I played regular Everdell, like no expansions or anything right after this, I'd probably find it very lacking in comparison.
Yeah.
Because those Windroses, along with the dunes together, give you very specific instructions of like, right now, this is the time to start playing critters and productions. Go do that. Do your 4 of them, get your dune, and then move on to your next thing.
Yeah, and it feels so much more satisfying. I mean, if you think it's satisfying to play a card and utilize a card right at the right moment, add to that you get to move the boat a couple spaces, and then it just feels like, and you were doing that a ton in the first round.
Yeah, I really it's very hard for me not to look at those and just be like, okay, that's what I'm playing. That's all I'm playing right now.
It really is.
The only thing that stopped me from playing more was when I was like, okay, I did the dune for that type. Move on to a new type, Emily, so you make sure you get all of them. But I also really enjoy the fact that you have these anchors. You only had 3 of them, so I got rid of one of my cards where I used my 3rd anchor. We definitely used all 3 of them.
Yeah.
I really like that change because it was so annoying for me when we were playing.
Hunting for the card.
Yeah, and being like, I really I want this one, but he's not as good as that one, or like they don't go together, or especially when you had like end game things you were looking for and you were looking for very specific people. I really just didn't enjoy that.
Yeah, I think that is an improvement I think even any fan of Everdell is going to appreciate. I think that is probably one of the, as satisfying as it is to get the perfect pair.
Sure.
When you don't, it is the complete opposite of satisfying. And I do think that's a really good improvement. So like I said, overall, if you don't have any Everdell things in your life and you've thought, should I ever get Everdell? I think I would say go for this. This is where I'd start. And then I'd say test out Everdell because it may feel a little lacking in comparison to this. I do think this is the next step for
the other thing I'd say is if you're an Everdell aficionado, right? You got all the stuff, you got all the things. You're gonna want to try this.
That's what I
don't know if you're gonna whether you buy it or not. That's your choice, but you're definitely gonna want to try it because it definitely makes it different enough. You're gonna want to see how this feels in comparison.
And there's a few things I think you can incorporate from this. Certainly not the track, and you can't use the anchors in Everdell.
Sure.
But you could probably house rule the double cards as you're stacking. That's a minor thing, but it does make this a lot nicer in that there's not like a bunch of duplicates staring you in the face.
I appreciate that.
So, as we expected, Emily beat me. It wasn't horrible.
It was not. I was worried.
Are you sure it was just 120 that I got?
Yes, I am sure.
120. I'm happy with that, though. It was a good time. If you have any questions at all about the game, please make them in the comments below. We'll both get down there and try to answer whatever we can. Until next time, make sure everyone has fun at the table, and we'll see you then.